Guys, I'm really happy. Why? Since Brad Garland House signaled us to proceed, we received confirmation today that it will arrive. Although there is activity going on behind the scenes, retail XRP volatility is non-existent at the moment. Guys, it seems like nobody is around. It seems like no one is speaking. Guys, they used to only focus on XRP now. They're looking at other coins. The wave of institutional money appears to be the same as the wave of retail money. Will be arriving shortly, but first, a few words from David Joel Shelton Schwartz at last, unequivocal evidence that I am not Satoshi Nakamoto. So folks, this is really, really funny. Some people claim that there are several right guys. It's like a group. It seems logical that Satoshi is speaking for a group of people rather than simply one at this point. However, take a look at this to see whether Bitcoin can reach 70 or so K. Why is XRP not working well? This is going to be a market cap argument, but this is my argument instead. Usefulness first, conjecture which ones, gentlemen. You finally let me know. One involves supposition while the other has practical applications in the actual world. You guys really informed me. It's fortunate that Bitcoin paved the path because it currently reigns supreme. Guys, we can't make things too difficult for Bitcoin to rise so that other cryptocurrencies can rise as well. He recently announced that consensus, guys, that an XRP Solana and Cardano ETF will be released. This is how Growing House comes about. It is unavoidable. Hold on. What is this, guys? It excited me so much. He claims it's just a matter of time, although this was just released a few hours ago. At Consensus 24, the Ripple CEO announced on stage that additional exchange-traded funds, ETFs, will be released for these additional cryptocurrencies. Come on, folks, have a look at this man's face. It appears like he is 100% bullish towards you. Thus, Austin, the CEO of Ripple, anticipates that additional exchange-traded funds, ETFs focused on cryptocurrency, will arrive in Texas after spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved and work on ETFs intended to hold Ethereum's Ether Advanced. Citation, I believe it's inevitable and only a question of time. The XRP ETF is scheduled to launch. An ETF named Solana is planned. It's fantastic that there will be a Cardano ETF. And he mentioned that XRP and Ripple are closely related. Yes. Whoa, this is crazy. And we know that if meetings happen, they will happen soon. Some people are guessing that the meetup will take place on July 4th, but it will most likely happen in June. Either way, there will be a huge influx of money, so start saving now, guys. As he states right here, these will only be speed bumps in the end. If you look at the overall trajectory, though, it's simply going to be up and to the right forever. I will say that there will be a lengthy regulatory approval procedure before these are allowed. Ultimately, these will appear to be speed bumps, so yes, that's how it will appear, but in the end, we are literally pumping guys up and to the right. There are undoubtedly challenges ahead of us, but we're going to keep going no matter what. This will now connect to the chart. All right, why? Because these guys are so cute. It's constricted. It feels like something is about to happen out of nowhere, like a white swan event, and we're pumping in that direction. From Alex Cobb's additional piece is about to get fully vertical here, focusing primarily on cryptocurrency with clear legal implications in America. RSI reached a record low, and additional P might end the ETFCC case any day now. Ripple stablecoin soon too, correct, guys? Thus, all of these things are taking place. In addition, David Scores discusses how trillions of dollars will be coming in. Have a look at this. Regarding the regulatory landscape, what are your thoughts on issues such as the tokenization of physical assets? They're talking about real-world assets being tokenized and everything entering or being an onset of blockchain, guys, right, being integrated into the blockchain. Do you think we're starting to see progress on the regulatory side to enable this for other things that we tokenize? Now let's get started. Yes, I believe that large organizations have the resources to endure even in extremely difficult, extremely strict countries such as the US made the EU or is counting very difficult. For the most part, big institutions have come to feel that genuine assets worth tens of trillions of dollars will exist. Hey guys, you heard me right. Real world assets are being tokenized for tens of trillions of dollars. Guys, hurry up. Where will it happen? Who knows which blockchain has the extra P ledger? Real assets worth trillions of dollars have been tokenized, and they don't want anyone else to have a say in it. Tier 1 banks and other big institutions are showing a lot of interest in this, so we need to figure out how to proceed, and they will undoubtedly be strict regulatory compliance is required. This won't be asked of us like anonymous accounts can hold, but you might be able to borrow against them, which will help to close the gap once more. Because if everything is strictly regulated and only the issuer's employees can use them, then there's really no benefit to them being available to the public. However, we believe that even those things can be connected to you through application here. That's right, folks, regulations must be established. The reason for this is that, should we return here? All right, folks, don't look at this. I guess this is where it gets more intriguing. Guys, please like these videos because they're becoming wild. Take a listen to this. Garlinghouse also berated Washington for what he saw as a lack of regulatory clarity. Sayings in a congressional hearing, SEC Chair Gary Gensler was questioned if Ether is a security. He declined to comment at this time. He maintains that the regulations are quite clear and don't need to be updated. He said, all right, now let's head back here. Guys, Gary Gensler has been the worst thing to ever happen to the SEC, according to even Congressman Tom Emmer. You see how they're all criticizing the SEC and the current system, and you wonder why this is happening. The answer is that the current administration, led by the president who is currently in office, has made changes. Their song as well, folks. I find it amazing that they're researching cripples and other things these days. The worst thing that could have ever happened to the SEC is Gary Gensler. He is essentially violating the SEC's goal every day, going much beyond the bounds of his power. That is the most absurd claim ever made, guys. Cool, folks, the SEC is really at this point. I don't know about falling off a cliff, right? We want capital investment and new prospects, and these guys are attempting to stop them. His open door policy is the largest obstacle they have. They're back in a bind, so they can either join us or I can. Do you know what the biggest joke that has ever been? The issue here is that he has consistently lost, and as we've seen in the past month, his colleague in the Senate is also losing. Come on in, tell me what your initiative is, and we're going to sue you. They're both beginning to lose their, in your opinion, does that indicate anything? They are not at all like that. Put otherwise, the agenda of cryptography is prevailing. Is it strategic? To put it another way, if he's allowing Bitcoin ETFs and Ether ETFs, then does it really matter that he works there? If an animal was cornered and had nothing to lose, I would be quite cautious about trusting it, but Gary Gensler is almost out of life. I believe that regardless of the election's outcome. You may have noticed him losing favor with the administration, in my opinion. For this reason, Chuck Schumer is leading the Democratic effort in the Senate to remove this stupid senator from the Senate. Yes, one more piece of news, which goes back is what I would like to ask you. Okay, gentlemen, there we go. Things are becoming really out of control here, not to mention that the largest economy in the world, Australia, is seen by Garlinghouse as belonging to the bottom decile. In some way, Gensler thinks that the Orange Grove exams from 70 to 80 years ago represented decile of regulatory clarity. Establish precise guidelines for cryptocurrencies. In reference to the way we test guys, he remarked, right, it is absurd and nonsensical, since the SEC's positions have grown to be such a political burden that they are impacting even the candidates for president, right? Moreover, Garlinghouse stated that this year, roughly 60% of Ripple's hiring was done outside in air conditioning, compared to 75% last year. Crazy, huh? All of these individuals are leaving America, but they will return because they are now shifting their position on cryptocurrencies and how the regulatory landscape is viewed. The critics are no longer as critical. He said, guys, that's it. That must be crazy. Take a look at the upcoming ETFs. Why is that so crucial? Therefore, given that we already know that money will be coming in and that I don't push prices to absurd heights, the ETFs will be quite bullish. Then again, what fascinating developments are we likely to see soon? He continues, listen to this vicious talk about her right now. Maybe we can expect her at Apex, which is coming up in June. Future announcements from Right. We have a ton of announcements planned for attacks, including news about table currency collaborations. Are there any other forthcoming announcements from Ripple that we can discuss or anticipate perhaps at Apex, which is taking place in June in Amsterdam? All right, so before we wrap up our conversation, we'll just have to wait for David to say anything else. Personally, I've been extremely unreasonably thrilled about the automated market maker feature. I've been working on trading algorithms and volatility harvesting for a long time, so that's something close and dear to my heart. It's amazing to see those things happen, and I'm also pleased to present what I believe is a cogent vision for how we might expand. As seen by the growth of the internet, institutional adoption by the military and government occurred in tandem with a process of bottom-up adoption to create an environment that was both persuasive and compelling. I find this notion of using blockchain technology to be incredibly fascinating. Many professionals who work in technology have demonstrated a strong willingness to get their hands dirty. It will require a combination of institutional and grassroots adoption for mass adoption. It's encouraging to see the sector seemingly making a turnaround. Yes, the sector is developing, and perhaps in the future we'll see some amicable rules that are precise and unambiguous. I really hope so. I find it painful to advise others to stay away from the United States whenever possible, but things have been improving. In the previous few months, I believe. I'm therefore optimistic. Yes, that's great. Well, David, talking with you is always a pleasure. Many thanks for that. All right, folks. So, if I'm not mistaken, guys, he's thrilled, and there will be some announcements in the upcoming events Apex. So, are any of you guys happy or not? The stars are aligning, people. Something has to happen soon to extract peace price action, don't they? I can tell you why it will happen, people. Because there has been a lot of volatility lately. Dead on arrival, with no signs of life at all. Very soon, gentlemen, it's probably going to wake up a little. Hopefully, it's interesting that you guys can practically go up from here, so go up from here now. This is not my statement, it's theirs. All right, moving forward, positive market trends for 2024 and 2025. You do realize that this is important to hear. In actuality, cryptocurrency volatility is more to the upside than the downside, but the bulk of mainstream narratives about cryptocurrency continue to be dominated by unfavorable sentiments. Over the last 3 cycles, which began in 2012, this asset class's market capitalization has consistently exceeded its previous all-time highs. Therefore, even though the cryptocurrency markets could be perceived as turbulent in the near future, its long-term growth is steady and noteworthy, according to historical data. Even though I didn't read this, if you guys were watching, that's exactly what I just said, right? In this manner, you all must view the entire video. In the short term, there will inevitably be setbacks, but in the long run, everything is really up to the right. However, it's all up from here. In essence, correct 2425. I'm prepared. Are you in agreement? And now, gentlemen, are we ready? Guys, I'm really happy. I'm eager, so please, Riddlers, just let our fantasies come true, please. All we ask is that you refrain from changing the nature of ice. Come on, let's go. What is that? Now that I see you face me.